Truth before the truth. Let's continue from the last two videos. Last video I was going on and on about creation and one for all, because the globe is bound together by many different things, whether it be just look at it. We're all doing the same thing, every continent. There's traffic, there's cars, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to explain to you that you know that we're globally bound. There isn't some free zone where there's no humans, or there's a couple humans and there's a vast forest or a vast wasteland or some kind of desert or something. There's just protected areas that are monitored and surveillanced. So whenever this started, it was before the internet that this even started, and the internet made it official. And we got cell phones. You don't even need anything more than if we had a real cell phone, which I'm pretty sure there's writers out there, fantasy fiction writers out there who wrote something about, and there's planets out there in the galaxy that have cell phones that are real and not just some buy a new one every year or so. And I'm sure there's people out there that can make their cell phone last 10, 20 years, but it's still not an official, it's not a good device. It's just a prototype. Anyways, to the last two videos where there's I'm talking about creation and why is it creation? Because we're globally bound. Because we can't, everyone's doing something impossible. They're just continuing on and on, believing that humans drug themselves up into the coffin and they get cremated or they get embalmed into a graveyard. But basically they're getting murdered. Everyone's murdering each other. Not with a knife out in the open like everyone is desired to, because it's actually an instinct that's been in us for who knows how long. But creation only, because no one has any hope. Even the biggest pieces of shit out there, the really, really rich people who don't actually have any money. And without one person, and I want to say this because I know it's possible, and I can't refuse the possibility, because I would become a coward. And I know how to do it because I've been accumulating this only for the past 10 years. There isn't another type of person that could come about, or you would just be partially correct, and that's not actually possible for a human, especially when there's humans only as the dominant species on the planet. So these big people like the top four rich people that have their faces, you can call them the four horsemen, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk or whatever. They're probably not even rich. They might even just be figureheads. We don't know. What you can look at is what is possible. What is possible is that they have money that they accrued, and it became the same money as the other people that have money. Same with the royalty people and the bloodlines from old times where they inherit everything and they have all the real money. Everything is done. It's gone for. It's old. Only someone like me can give it back to them, because I'm the one who's paid the promise. All the people with money besides them have signed a promise note, and they made a promise to what everything actually is, that they're going to give the money back. Now they make payments and money back because they don't give it back. They don't fulfill their promise. They're just paying money back because they don't deserve the money. And that's probably why, or probably why not, the really rich people don't give us any money, because one, they either don't know what to do with it, or they can't because the law says something, and they probably hire security to protect themselves from the government. You never know what could happen. All these, if you just look at different top possible imaginary scenarios that are possible within our own contemporary issues, then you'll find out that it's possible, and what is possible is actually occurring. And that's why I brought up surveillance, because cameras around the entire globe makes it, whether you're being watched or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're watched or not. That's what's possible. Now, because it's possible, that's your environment. Now, because that's possible, now what is possible? Now that's what's only possible, because you can't just erase all the cameras. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're a wizard who's flying down on his broomstick, and everyone knows it's God inside their, inner intuition, so they just go back to sleep at night, and he's waltzing around like big Daddy-O, just talking shit, just like everyone else, guiltier, because he won't fucking give someone $20. Can't even slip someone $20. Anyways, God's walking around and he's guilty because he isn't paying the promise either. And the only possibility in a global community where nothing is happening is creation only. It's the only savior of saviors. Now, we want Jesus Christ. Yeah, I could tell you who Jesus Christ is, because I told you that I've been on the real path for years now. And what is shown to me is possibly either the official real Jesus Christ, or the idea or a preview of what it actually is, if he's an actual person, an idea, or what God's become, or what wizards become. Who knows what is. Those are the things that are possible. But because all those things are what's possible, what is possible is only one thing, because we are sitting here on cameras and no one can take into account every single YouTube channel. The law doesn't take into account every single YouTube channel. The royalty people don't take into account every single YouTube channel. Neither does the Pope or religion itself. The Arabs, the Asians, they're not looking into the YouTube channels and people's actual displayed. Let's stop that, and let's just confess with each other as regular citizens, not these bigger hierarchy people who are now finally at a burden of themselves. We have an instinct to hide our own information from these surveillance, and the reason why you have an instinct to hide it, because you haven't actually tried the intuition towards the true path, because we are born just like in the Matrix inside the tube. And even when you wake up out of the guck and the oil, you're still not out of the Matrix. You're still playing around, talking powers, and that's what wizards are. They sit there and they play in the Matrix with Neo fucking Morpheus powers. It's just a never-ending insanity, and they'll confess just on the one fact that people can actually come together and give something a shot. Doesn't matter how small or big it is. They haven't come together, and they sing about it. They know it. They watch the movies. They probably do some stupid shit in their heads. They're probably guilty of some crimes that are not forgivable. But what's actually possible is what's actually possible, because what is possible is what is possible. But what's actually possible are the things that can be done that are possible, because what's possible is what's happening outside of your awareness. And now that it's possible, you got to consider what's actually possible. You have to put that to the side. The moon is there every morning, and it's not going anywhere. And if it does, you're just going to look at the shifts and you're going to say, hey, we used to have a moon, and we're not going to want to forget that in case it comes back. So what is possible with a surveillanced globe? And you say globe because we're on Earth, but a globe would represent a planet anywhere in the universe, or revolving a star. Big whoop. There's definitely other planets out there, guys, you know. I mean, unless God's one sick son of a bitch and he killed all the other planets and he chose us to reincarnate all on one little planet, and we're all like wizards and gods and stuff, and that's why we're so egotistically insane. And somehow I popped up out all by myself, and whoever else is out there that's like me is probably doesn't get it enough, because they just probably didn't have luck. They didn't have enough luck within their survival. In this world, bad luck is kind of survival, because you are slammed down just how the world is made to be, so you find the right answers only. And when you find the right answers only, you become what every belief and every mythology, all of it says almost the same thing, and you become in possession of it, and that's what it says in the law. Now, the same with the money. When you fulfill your promise, I'm able to, right now, you can give, and this is what I'm going to say in court. This is what you should say in court too. I mean, unless you're just some idiot who needs to just sit in a cell of his own free will, you should say this in court too. But the difference between me and you is when you say this in court, you have to bring it to me if they ever have the audacity or can fathom what the actual possibility of putting one person in front of the entire planet live 24/7, because that isn't, you cannot lie live 24/7, no matter what wizard, no magic, no nothing. Nothing can penetrate live 24/7. You can watch bad things conspire and transpire within the recording, and everyone can see something different. But if you actually review it in your head after, when you turn it off or take a break, just like the Truman Show movie, you'll see that everyone is watching the exact same thing and will be in the exact same image. And now, because whether I am or not the first person to be this guy who's saying this is the only actual possibility, it's not the only actual possibility. It's the best possibility, because it justifies every stupid thing that's occurring. But the problem is who's going to, whatever happens, it has to be a decision, or it has to happen. And for it to happen, it has to happen. And for it to happen, you have to either give me or the person who's going to say this in court to get away with a crime, because the only way to get away with a crime by saying this is to actually show yourself live 24/7, and then they'll probably lock you up if you don't give the cameras to me and say this is the guy, because he is the now this isn't motive to murder someone, but although right now it doesn't matter who anyone kills, because nothing is possible. Anyone can get away with murder. It's a known fact. If you have money, if you have a demon of mockery in the background that you've been practicing with, like how military people are immune to polygraphs, little disciplines like that gets away with any murder in court. You can fabricate, you can pull the strings of a judge just in her mind by psyche establishment. You establish a thinking mode for the moment, and boom, kablamo, you're innocent of murder. That's illegal. But we're not doing anything. The court isn't legal. The courts isn't legal. The economy isn't legal. Work isn't legal. People aren't illegal. Children aren't legal. Nothing is anything you think of except this guy you're seeing on this video somewhere out in the galaxy, probably, because no one is allowed to click play or even say hello to me outside of a workplace. They can only see the lesser side of themselves, because everyone is this person that I'm telling you you're supposed to become. And this is what you will become after one person is up there, one for all for one, because one person up there is going to basically manifest destiny and have totalitarian dictatorship, but not the way with not a say so corporation person, not a dinosaur say so corporation type of thing, but or a Hitler type of thing. But it's me live 24/7 as the person that I am now, except for one difference is that I have more than financial freedom. I have the access, I have the key to the entire planet called creation, and I get to do what I say is best, and all of it is creation, and none of it is harm, none of it is illegal, and it's all pro everything, all life. It's all pro everything. Nothing. All the sickest, nastiest people. Yeah, you after a few decisions, you are going to be at the bottom, because the real people are going to start waking up instantly, just because their own possibility is up and coming next. And that's the law, and that's the order of law, and rank of our human status. And after I make a few decisions, the position is left however long I can make it, because obviously we come from a sick world, and it's only going to last 1 to 20 to maybe 100, perhaps 500 years. If you think about it, 500 years, one man isn't that long. We can live thousands of years if you consider all the poisons and nasty shit that we've accumulated just in our short lifespans of 50 and 60. And you look at how people lived when they only lived to about 40 years old a couple hundred years ago. It's that, and that's just basically when someone achieves wisdom and freedom, they actually achieve their own disciplines, and it's easy for them to live longer, which isn't that great when you're all alone. So in this factor, we got everyone on a whole planet trying to do this thing that everyone starts talking about. Oh, we did this before. Like, you can sit there and mention reincarnation in past lives. We can prove it in records and all that stuff, or whatever you want to do it, talk about visions, but that's not relevant. It has nothing to do with what we're doing right now. Who I am in a past life doesn't matter. Who you are in a past life doesn't matter. That's not what we're doing. We have to do something first for anything else to occur, because we haven't done something. And that means anyone listening on Earth, if you can be some normal dude and actually sue the Supreme Court, which is my only plan. But I'm totally poor. I've never made $10,000. I've never held more than $10,000, and that's because I buy food and I do what it takes to achieve the correct answers for everyone on this planet to basically turn their head the other way. And they're basically confessing that it's a faith-based world, and I do have the right answers. And not only do I have the right answers, but I'm well equipped enough to establish that with authority. So those people who see this video, if you're on, if you see this video and you can sue the government and tell them, hey, I'm going to commit all these crimes, and you can't prove me guilty unless you do this for me, and you make this order, and no one can refuse it, and you have to be out loud live 24/7. And when you find me, Toby Zane Anderson, the blonde-haired bum with the red beard, his number is 602-367-4888, that he's going to be the creator. He's the first I don't want to say first and last, because that phrase represents a lot of different things. So this guy's going to be the creator for us, and he has a few basic ideas that will get the planet spinning again. And then from there, that position will be based on whoever can arise on their own and use our basic technologies, however much I'm going to improve them, and however more natural the world will be, just to keep it nourished. Who will be up there next? I guess that would be our next problem. Is everyone going to still be completely absent after someone is one face is up there? One face in front of the entire planet? Everyone's gonna sit there until they croak? That's funny. I mean, come on. I'll get right back up there after I take a nap, come on. But someone else will get up there, and then from there another person will, and then whoever up gets there, we take our turns, and the entire planet evolves in infinite directions, and we basically live forever, just how we're actually we're meant to be. We're meant to already be at this pathway. But what the details including on why that didn't happen is just basically what happened. You have to be on the path to basically possess all these answers. They're basic answers, and I'm the type of person that is allowed to tell the truth like that. And I'm not going to tell those answers because we're focusing on the creation part and the creator. And because I'm the only person that will do this, and I'm sure other people will, but if you didn't take the correct path, you only have gnosis in your head, like Hollywood or the Pope or the Emperor of Japan. I don't know what's wrong with them. They are signed to their own deals. And now, because the world is globally contracted to a future, none of that stuff is real anymore. There are no more treaties. There are no more contracts. It's just one big promise note, and no one has fulfilled it but me and the potential of the future children, which are the free state. And we'll go into that about America some other time, but that's all we got is this guy right here talking to you somewhere out there in the galaxy. If nothing happened, this is what's left. Just some guy who didn't jump in the river after he watched a movie, and he looks raggedy. But that's fine. I had to walk down the tar fucking polluted streets of good old Kansas City. I won't be here for lunch longer. It's not very fun. It's just another pollution area. I would have just been polluted all over again. I'm gonna probably jump in the creek tomorrow. But I'm trying to hang on here so you can not forget about the creation thing. Do you want the future? I'm actually talking to the rest of the galaxy, because I'm pretty certain that we're so sick and poisoned and smitten that we can start off at a basis for where we can reach the rest of the galaxy in due time, and 40,000 years of all being alive. Just we're not super god powers and stuff like that, in some fucking cartoon shit. We're actually not missing the other half, and we're in it together despite some of these pieces of shit, lots of these, mostly Americans, I'm guessing. I mean, there's going to be other pieces of shit out there, but America's just one big piece of shit. And look at what they did. They forced me out, and here I am. So let's get it together. And all the rest of the galaxy, well, good luck.